All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Chopping It Up with P. Scott. I'm Prescott Kelly. Today is Tuesday, September 24th. Glad to have you back with us. On today's episode, I've got C.R. McGee, Sean Brown. We've got some Week 3 football. It's been a wild start to the year. We've got the Steelers 3-0 with Justin Fields. The Bills, they're good. Who would have saw that coming? Wink, wink. We'll get to that later. Darnold, Fields, Dalton, Williams, Texans, Vikings. Did we crown somebody too early? We're doing it right now. Jayden Daniels. I know that JD's is probably going to jump in a little bit later on with his baby goat stuff. That's usually what he does. Before I get into that, thank you guys so much for joining me again. What's going on with y'all today? And what were your biggest takeaways from Week 3?
I'm doing good, and thank you for having me back up on here. My biggest takeaway, the underdogs. You had the Giants, Commanders, and the Rams, all 6+ points underdogs, and all three end up winning straight up.
That was crazy to me because like you and I talked about Sunday morning that you thought the Giants could win straight up. I wasn't completely sure about that against the Browns, but plus 6.5. I was like, I'm gonna take the Giants on that. We were both right, but you took them on the money line, which I was not expecting at all. CR, what was some of your? Yeah, that was. Oof. All right. What about CR? What about you, dog?
Man, the choke jobs. It was some choke jobs this weekend. Like
the Ravens almost had one.
Yeah. I went to sleep thinking that the 49ers had it in the bag. I woke up. I'm like, damn, the 49ers lost. And the beloved. I mean, we can't block. We can't run. The coach is too damn positive all the time. Like, bro, it's okay to be mad. I'm mad.
Oh, you're talking about Eberflus?
Man, if I could slap the sugar honey iced tea out of Eberflus.
Ooh, that's bad.
Man, like why we running the speed option on the goal line?
What is that? To the short side of the field, man. Why are you? This is what I mean. When coaches love to outcoach themselves, man.
Never seen a play where 4 of your offensive linemen are all on the ground.
I seen that. I was just like, that play was destroyed before it even got started.
The way that LaShawn responded was the same thing I was telling you, like that the short side run game is something they used to do in Madden back in like Madden 10. And it was the same goofy stuff that you saw with them just getting obliterated at the line was if you had that OP defensive line, your offense would get obliterated and you would get you had the perfect play call and it would just get smoked. What is going on with that offensive line, bro? Because I thought that was supposed to be not a point of weakness or strength, but they were supposed to at least be somewhat reputable. What the hell was that, man?
I have no idea what's going on. I won the play call. Shane Waldron needs his ass kicked. I'm just gonna say it. Like, why are you? I don't have a problem running out of the shotgun. I don't. I have a problem running out of the shotgun on the 2-yard line.
Yeah,
like that. Like, what are you doing?
That's supposed to be big boy football right there. Bring in your jumbo package.
And you have a power back in Roshan Johnson. But you got Khalil Herbert, who's my size, out there. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I can't even listen to the radio. Like,
you don't want to listen to no sports talk, huh?
I don't want to hear none of it because it's just like, bro, what are we doing?
You also listen, you guys still listen to the sports talk radio?
Every day, after the Browns lose, yeah.
You're a glutton for punishment. You want all that smoke.
I want to hear because then, like, Browns fans after they lost Sunday, everybody wants to blame the offensive line. They want to blame the coach with the play calling. I'm like, no. If you look at this all 22, like Watson was sacked 9 times. I counted 5 of them to be.
He was sacked 9 times in that game alone.
In that game alone. Remember what I told you? I said, "What's the weakness for the Browns?"
You said O-line.
And what's the strength for the Giants? Their defensive line.
D-line.
I say that first half they ran a repeated blitz. Pretty much, I say like 35% of the time, and every time they ran it, it worked. Like it was a loss or it was a sack. And I'm just like, where's the adjustments here? Where's the audible coming from Watson? But I forgot Watson can't do that. He's not that type of quarterback. So
it doesn't feel like anymore though. I feel like when it comes to like when we're talking about offensive strategies, I'm always okay with you having a top, you got your 15 plays, right? They're always kind of scripted, but like, what are you going to do coming out of the locker room to
where's
adjust?
the adjustments?
And where is it? And I don't see a whole lot of it with them. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I've watched every minute of Bears or Browns football, but there does seem to be Stefanski's a dude that we were praising, 2.5 years ago as like he was like the quarterback whisperer. He was the guy who was supposed to change things.
Look at last season. He won with five different quarterbacks.
Different quarterbacks.
And you mean to tell me this guy who's supposed to be a superstar quarterback can't do this? He can't run that system. So they fired
Jerry
the
Judy
offensive
too. That was me. Like Jerry Judy's been my sleeper dude because like he's had such cheeks quarterback play recently. I thought if he's got Amari Cooper who's getting older, but you've got him and Judy, bro. Like now, obviously, if Chubb was healthy, that would change the dynamic and change the play calling some. But bro, if you can't even just move the ball at all, I feel like I have to stop defending Deshaun Watson from not even just from a playability standpoint. I feel like I got to cut ties with this dude altogether at this point.
If you got any stock in him, might as well just go ahead and sell it, man. It's all over with.
I just feel like if they just let the brother go get massages, he'll be all right. Let him get a rub down. Let him get a tug job. He'll be okay.
I don't want to get canceled, but you compare Ohio to Texas.
It ain't gonna happen, man.
I don't want to be that guy.
They'll just be missing a couple teeth. It'll be all right. Go get
You're right, man. You're right. I just like seeing it. As I predicted for them to go 5-12, and it'll be because of him. Like
I don't know, 5-12 is just
with the talent that's on this team, they shouldn't go 5-12. But when you got your quarterback holding you back, it's gonna happen. And then to hear that Myles Garrett has an injury in both of his feet, it's bound to happen, man.
Yeah, I mean, because the two things that I want to take away because I saw my guy Nick Stevenson from the Houston Sports Scene podcast. He was chopping in for a minute. I want to give him some love because I do listen to his show and the Twin Toros podcast, which is streaming live today for the first time, is being produced by ESPN Houston. He was talking about the Houston Texans offensive line not being good, and without watching the Texans a lot, I saw them getting beat the brakes off of. And just to kind of cross-pollinate from that to what you're talking about with the Cleveland Browns is, man, the Browns, their offensive line used to be a strength for them.
But we lost Bill Callahan, and then on top of it is just Joe Bitonio. I could say Father Time caught up to him. So right now, if he retired tomorrow, I'll tip my cap to him. But at the same time, it's just like, man, he was getting his stuff kicked in. I'll say that.
So all I do right
Lawrence
now
isn't a joke either. I'll say that. Dexter Lawrence, I'll say he is the Aaron
Donald
replacement as the best defensive tackle in the league.
Dexter Lawrence is? I mean, they got the brake speed off him by Derrick. I mean, it's Derrick Henry. It took him a couple of weeks to get kind of acclimated. I want to get to the chat real quick, and then we'll go back real quick. So Stephen Lynn said, as a Bears fan, I never wanted Waldron. So CR, that's kind of up your alley. Also, didn't address the offensive line as well, in my opinion. But they did get Romadunze. Like, you're trying to get Caleb Williams' weapon, so I kind of get it. Tony Burton says, what's good? Go Birds, go Blue. He's going to be his. Yeah. He's going to be that guy. Yeah, when Blake Hance from Jacksonville, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he was a good pickup for the Browns. But last season and the 2020 season, he came up there in the Pittsburgh game at center, handle his business. So, I mean.
Tony also said people from Illinois don't know how to act. So, see, I don't know how you want to approach that and rebut it, but you can go and go at Uncle Phil if you'd like to.
Chicago is in Illinois. We don't claim the rest of Illinois, so it don't even matter.
That's like Atlanta with Georgia. Atlanta is Atlanta. It is not Georgia.
I love Tone though. Even though he claims when he came up here, he hit my line to kick it. On my soul, you didn't hit my line, but that's all right. I still love you.
I feel like we have some underlying things that we need to. We'll tell you what, off air, we will address these concerns because that seems some personal.
No, it's just light skin versus dark skin. It's all right.
I'm gonna stick the out of that conversation because your boy is not allowed to.
Oh no.
All right, so my top thing going across the scroll was Darnold, Fields, Dalton, and Williams. It was kind of a weird week 3, right? So Darnold's 3-0, Fields is 3-0. Dalton came off the bench and LaShawn, you and I talked about this Sunday before the games actually started, where it's a lose-lose situation for Bryce Young anyways.
Yep.
But that's the worst of the worst outcomes when it comes to Dalton having the game that he had. And then Caleb Williams getting over 350 yards, throwing 2 tugs, but had 2 interceptions as well. Which one to you feels like it's the most consistent thing to go for? Because Darnold, to me, I've seen Darnold. I've seen this movie before. I'm not sold on Darnold. Men of Vikings fans are going to be fucking pissed at me later. Fields, I'm good with. Dalton is he's on the
good
back
with
end.
Fields?
I'm good with Fields because I know what I'm getting. I'm good. I didn't say he was good. I said I'm good with what I'm getting from because he's not losing them games because that Pittsburgh defense has been so absurd recently. If he doesn't hurt them. No, I don't consider them to be a Super Bowl favorite or contender. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't have them as a playoff team going into this year. As of right now, they could be.
They still won't be a playoff team.
They're going to be on the outside.
They're going to be on the outside looking in.
Or be close.
They'll be close.
My God, both y'all smiling at me. What you got for me? Both y'all. Will's better house over here.
I just think, man, their offense got to put up some more points. Averaging 17, 18 points a game ain't going to cut it, man. And that schedule's going to start getting a little bit tougher, too. So, I mean, and I look at the Vikings, if Jordan Love comes back this week and he shows that
he should not play this week. He should not play this week.
Oh, you want to play him this week against the Vikings?
I wouldn't. No, so so LaShawn, you're high on the Vikings then, huh? You think it's a real deal?
No, I'm not high on the Vikings. It's just if they don't beat the Packers this week, I'm going to say that the Packers is going to run that division. I thought it would be the Lions, but
I did. I've been high on the Lions for the last 4 years, and I'm over that.
I'm sorry, Jared Goff. I'm going to apologize to you, but I'm also going to be mad at you for making me burn my money. I'll put you up there to win MVP this season, and you're not playing like one.
Well, I mean, there's this guy over here who's been telling you that for the last 1,732 days. But CR, what's good, my man? Go ahead and talk. About the Bears, or not the Bears, but the Lions and everybody else.
Oh, Lions fugazi. I'm not impressed. Like if the Cardinals executed, they would have knocked the Lions. The Lions could be 0-3 right now.
Yeah, they could.
I'm not impressed with the Lions at all. Jared Goff is Jared Goff. He great value. Alex Smith.
He's Jared Goffle.
Man, you just threw me off.
They got the weapons, man. I'm just like, but you go 1 for 7 in the red zone. I'm like, that's a quarterback problem right there.
And then I don't know what's gonna happen with Laporta. Like that's huge.
Yeah,
Laporta being hurt, that's huge. I don't feel like they use Gibbs enough.
They be wasting his touches, giving it to Montgomery, and I'm just like, let Montgomery be the short yardage back. Anytime it's 1st and 10, second and about 7 or 8, I'm about to abuse Gibbs right here, man. Give him the ball. Throw it out to him in his face.
Dude, you are so pro running backs don't matter. You just use the word abuse. Abuse gives.
Yes,
Make
abuse
the man
him.
retire early.
He can run routes up out the backfield because you got to make sure those linebackers got to account for him or the safeties. So why not give him, I'll say, about 18 to 24 touches a game, man?
Right. He's not saying he is him, but he's in that McCaffrey mode.
Yeah.
So use him accordingly.
Bijan too. Bijan also, man.
Well, see, this is the thing with like when it comes to the Lions for me is it's always been like it's very over the past 2 years or so, it's been very Amon St. Brown and Laporta heavy. So when people are asking about like I think that was you about the whole Jameson Williams trade. I have no idea if he's gonna be healthy, whether he can perform. It feels so reliant on two dudes, and they get away from what they're good at, which their offensive line the last 2 years was good, and they've been cheeks the first 3 weeks so far. And if you're not going to use the run game, you got two good running backs that can be versatile. The Lions have, if they're not going to do that, Amon St. Brown isn't that dude anymore. Laporta isn't that dude anymore. And that's why I haven't been, I don't trust Goff, and I don't trust Campbell.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of smoke for that, but I stand behind those words.
He gambles too much, man, and it's just like sometimes it's okay to take a field goal rather than to go for it on fourth down.
So you're not a fan of the Nick Sirianni theory of if it's fourth and less than 7, we're just going to go for it and do the tush push? You're not a fan of that?
No, man, take the points, man. Take the point.
It's like everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the room, and it's like, bro, it's not that deep.
There you go.
Take the 3. Go
Live
back
for
get the
another
ball
day,
back.
man. Let your defense go out there, get the stop or whatnot. I mean, they had played a hell of a game against the Saints, so shut that offense down.
Well, that's somebody else I want to get to as well. And my buddy Nick, Derek Gill's like, keep my name out your mouth because he's a Vikings fan. I'm not sold on the Vikings. I'm not sold on the Vikings. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold. I have seen this movie too many times, and I want to get your guys' opinion on that because before and LaShawn, you and I talked about this about a little bit on Sunday beforehand was that Sam Darnold couldn't even beat out rookie JJ McCarthy. If it wasn't for that injury, he wouldn't be starting. So we can't do this thing about like, oh, Sam Darnold's good now. No, now obviously he has a number 1 wide receiver in Justin Jefferson and has a creative offensive coordinator or an offensive minded coach. But I've seen this too many times. To me, Sam Darnold is just a backup quarterback, and I equate backup quarterback play to backup quarterback results. And it's cute for a bit. I feel like he's going to get got really, really soon in Minnesota. Am I wrong, or where do you guys look? Like,
you're right.
You are an NFC North fan, and LaShawn, you as a former quarterback, like what are you seeing with that?
No, you're right. But as I told you before, the Shanahan system is the most quarterback-friendly system in the league. If you cannot produce in that system, in which that's the reason why I look at Deshaun Watson and be like, if you can't produce in this system, then it's you. It ain't the head coach. It ain't the offensive line. It ain't the weapons. It's you. And like you look at Darnold, and he's produced these.
That's wild because Watson was great before that system, though. Like, is it all just? It's got to be all upstairs at that point in time, then, right?
It's all upstairs. Like it's all mental. Like he's looking at the wide receivers running wide open, and he's not pulling the trigger. So, but I give credit to Darnold for the past 3 weeks to beat the San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans back-to-back. I'll give you some credit there, but let's see if you can keep this going. You got to keep it going.
He's also done some Sam Darnold things, though. He's made some really bad plays, and he also looks like he wants some love sometimes and just want to get hugged up by the defensive end sometimes. Like, it happens. But see, what's your assessment of the Sam Darnold effect, if you will, in Minnesota?
It's weird. It's like, bro, you've been cheeks since you got into the league,
right?
And now you
having the best wide receiver in football does help. I'll give him that.
Absolutely, but it's like he's still got to make the throws.
Yep,
and he's making the throws. He's not turning the ball over. I mean, the only thing I can do is take my hat off to the little funny looking dude at this point. Like, I mean.
I will say
I don't even know what to say about him. Honestly, I'm
The way that I equate it is to me, he is basically a backup quarterback. When you get the backup quarterbacks, they have these games, they have these runs, they have these stints, and Brian Flores has been really good, obviously, like that. And I'm gonna stop it right here as far as people saying he's the coordinator of the year. Just because you're 3-0, let's stop it, because we're doing the exact same word association with Sam Darnold as like he should be most improved player or blah blah blah. It's 3 weeks. Let's stop that. But my dude Sam, or my buddy Derek, who is a Vikings fan, says Sam was generally considered the starter this year, even before JJ's injury. No, he was not.
No, he wasn't. Not after that first preseason game.
No, he was not. He was every year when he was in New York, he'd have a 3-game stretch at the end of the season where it was like, hey, we can't lose this guy. Hey, he's building momentum every single year, year after year after year. Then he went to Carolina. He was cheap. Then went to Minnesota. He couldn't beat out a rookie quarterback at Michigan with a stacked roster and had to do very minimal stuff. No, he was not in line to beat out McCarthy, because if he was, he would have been named the starter, right? Like McCarthy was named because they had Darnold as a guy who's like the 7th-year starter, the 7th-year guy with the veteran presence to groom him. He's going to let y'all down, man. I don't want to be the party pooper of the Vikings, but he is going to let y'all down at some point in time. You also might win the division, because the division I think is a little overrated at certain positions. But nah, man, he ain't it for me. Sam Darnold is not the answer for that.
I think you enjoyed that as much as you said you don't want to be the party pooper of the Vikings. Like, I feel like you liked that a little bit.
It did feel good, though. It did feel good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Mostly because I'm from Texas, and I feel bad for my buddy Nick Stevenson, who's a huge Texans fan. And man, that O-line was cheeks. I saw a stat that
Can we give Brian Flores some credit, man?
We can give Brian Flores some credit, and not honestly, we should.
I'll say that. To run, like, as I call it, an amoeba defense, which means he doesn't expose his coverages at all or his blitzes. That's pretty creative. That's like Bill Belichick, like. So I give him credit.
I give him credit for that too, and I do think that we have to understand that at some point, as you do have to understand like where you fall in the pecking order, because some people who want to be coaches aren't real coaches; they're coordinators. And maybe Brian Flores is that. I had this thought. Brian Flores had this weird dynamic in Miami, right, where he had 2 different quarterbacks. He didn't want Tua. He was playing Tua, then had Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, and he was playing like he was like they were pitchers in a baseball game. Like it was kind of this weird dynamic. But I think that Brian Flores can coach. But with everything going on with that and the Tom Brady stuff and not wanting to draft, like the whole thing was really goofy. I think he can coach, but I think we do this sometimes where we just take a step back where only players can get better and coaches can't. And maybe Brian Flores, given what happened in Miami, can be a better head coach going forward. Maybe so, maybe not. I have no idea. But I do think that he's somebody who at least deserves a second chance, because we've seen plenty of other dudes just ride off the Belichick or Saban tree and get
second, third chances.
They get all these chances with no reason for it. But Flores, to me, I think deserves another chance at a head coaching job if it is what he wants to do.
Yeah.
As long as he don't come here. I don't know. Another defensive coach.
No, you don't need that there. That is for sure. What about Andy? What about Andy Dalton and Kenny and Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams, I'll go with CR first because he needs to get his get this off his chest.
I'm fine with Caleb. Like he looked bad. He looked bad the first game, better the second game, better on Sunday. So it's like I can't be mad at the brother. He trying to, first of all, rookie shouldn't be throwing 52 times in the game.
Hey man, at the occasion calls for, man, you down multiple possessions. So I get it.
But see, the problem is that he shouldn't have been put in that position, because with the Colts having a really poor run defense, there was no DeForest Buckner. There was no reason why they shouldn't, with both those backs, been doing that. So I agree with you, LaShawn. Given the situation,
yeah,
that's what he had to do. But if he wasn't put in that situation, he would have to throw 52 times, because you got 2 backs who can actually expose the defensive line and their linebackers. But
through 3 games, the Bears are averaging less than 2 yards a carry.
Are you serious?
Whoa,
it's bad.
That is
they can't run the ball.
Stat of the day.
You led the league in rushing the past 2 years
because Justin Fields was boosting them numbers, dog.
Run the ball at all.
But Justin Fields was boosting those numbers on yards per game, though.
Absolutely, but it's like nobody can break off a 12-yard run.
That's bananas, dude. I didn't know that.
Give me 4 yards. Give me 4 yards.
I say, if you can give me 4 yards a pop, I'm happy with you.
Like it's a joke. This offensive line is a joke. It's offensive.
He said
something.
It can't be defensive.
It's like, man, I'd rather see my grandma and 2 granddaddies out there, and they did. Okay, put them out there and let them try to block somebody, because these dudes getting paid millions of dollars,
and they can't block
what? Like, bro, like in high school, you can make a pile, just fall. At this point, fall down and just make a pile. Like,
oh my God! So you're doing like the whole slot wide receiver at the JUCO college. They're trying to do a fake play. Just
put his arms across his chest and fake dead like he's dying.
Take a dive.
What's his name? What's the little dude named Carter? I don't remember his first name, but he's on our team now. The returner. What?
Oh, for Chicago?
5'6".
DeAndre Carter.
Why is he blocking a defensive end?
Like that's on coaching there.
Oh, yeah, the coach said that the players need to execute.
Oh no, you never, man.
That's like asking my 4-year-old to block me. I'm gonna run her little ass over.
Yo, Turkey Day is gonna get real awkward because I have to explain all the bruises on you, and I don't want to do that.
I was okay with Eberflus staying. I was like, you know what? He got the defense in order. Give him a shot. Let him get a competent coordinator because Getsy ain't that. No, bro, you got to go. You got to go. Like, you're not about to ruin another quarterback. The problems that Justin had weren't problems until he got to Chicago. Like, Justin wasn't scared to throw the ball.
Oh, not especially not at Ohio State.
Right, you made him overthink, and now I see in Pittsburgh they're rewinding all that crap that he learned here
in Chicago.
And now look at him. I ain't saying he's an MVP, but he's definitely a serviceable quarterback.
I can say that.
Well, that was something that me and Tony talked about last Tuesday was as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, Pittsburgh's going to be good because that defense is just absolutely bonkers. And they do have skill position guys. Like the offensive line isn't great still. I think we all still understand that. But as long as he's not turned the ball over multiple times a game, the division is really tough, but they'll still be good one way or another.
They'll be in a lot of games.
Exactly. They'll be in games. So I want to get to Andy Dalton just real quick because he don't really matter.
Because y'all both redheads?
No, man, because I got the receipts that I ain't that no more. No, man. No, but it was just weird because all right, so again, me and LaShawn talked about this. Like this was the worst outcome that could have happened for Bryce Young is Andy Dalton having that specific game. What's kind of your thought process on the rest of the season for the Panthers? Because I do still think that there's been talks about them trading Bryce Young and maybe not. I think they trade him, and I kind of hope they do. But is it because of the play of Andy Dalton, or is it because you're just trying to recoup what you gave up because you don't want to be in such a bad situation that you were already, like Dallas per se, or San Francisco, where they traded so much up for Trey Lance and then trade him to Dallas, and you're just trying to get anything back for them? Would you rather trade Trey Lance? Was that?
I said that's what you should try to do. Get what you can for him.
So you don't want to keep Bryce Young at all, and then like kind of build around him at some point in time? You'd just rather get rid of him
because like, all right, let's just say Andy beats the Bengals this Sunday, right?
Revenge game.
Revenge game. And now in that locker room, that especially that offensive side of the ball, now those guys are going to be like, oh man, we can buy into whatever Andy wants to run here. So, and the only way you can go back to Bryce is if Andy gets hurt. It won't be because of performance.
No, because he's already out in the first. You can even go back to week probably 15 of last year. Andy Dalton one game outperformed in 5 different games of Bryce Young from this year and last year.
Like I looked at the way that Andy played, like he played like he was young Andy again.
Right, like he was throwing the AJ Green. Like he looked good.
Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
And I can see you popping up with a question later on about AJ Green, asking if he's probably like, should he be in the Hall of Fame?
I wasn't going to, but we're here.
He's in the Hall of Very Good, man. Ooh. I mean, there's so many. There's a backlog for running backs and wide receivers.
That is very true.
Eli Manning is going to get in on the first ballot. We can
all. So that is something where I wasn't going to bring up in this particular podcast episode, but we're here. So you know what? We'll do it live. Eli Manning, to me, does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I know that he was going to be. And I just know it. I'm not going to have a whole lot of argument. What about you guys?
No, you're right. I look at,
he's 500, has the same amount of touchdowns.
Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. Troy Aikman is in the Hall of Fame, and I'm just like, why not let Eli in? Because that's the same thing that he pretty much did. A 500 quarterback, but I think he was like 320 touchdowns and about 270 interceptions. Like, nah, man. They're going to put him in because of his last name.
You're going to put him in because of no. I don't think they put him in because of his last name. Like I understand where you're coming from because Archie didn't win. Like Archie didn't win basically in the NFL, but like obviously Peyton did, and what he's going to get in for and Mario
said it. Yeah,
that's
the only reason he's getting it.
That's exactly the reason why Mario nailed it to a T.
So if let's just say if Eli would have beat
Tom Brady, he said Tim Brady, but no, Tim Brady's right because that's how the league would associate it. On Netflix, Tim Brady, motherfuckers, because he beat him twice. That's the whole reason why he's getting in.
If he beats Matt Hasselbeck,
or a lesser quarterback,
right? He beat the 18-0 Patriots, and like, man, I wish I had that beat. Eli. like I'm a Bears fan, but after the Bears, it's Tom Brady. Like if Tom Brady wants to take a shot at moms, you go ahead, Tom. You go ahead. I love Tom Brady.
I was a dude who I hated him for the longest time because I was that really very high strung, needed to be the best Bills fan ever because in Alaska there aren't a whole lot of football fans, and when there aren't Bills fans, and now there are, and that irritates the hell out of me. But at the time, I feel like I had to protect the shield, if you will.
Yeah.
But I like Tom Brady way more than I should. Yeah,
you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Aaron Rodgers. Like I shouldn't have liked Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, but he was cold. Like what I'm supposed. And then, like, he was an asshole on top of that. Like, that, like, I own you. Like, at the time, it made me mad. But when I can sit back and look at it, like, man, that's hard. Like,
yeah.
Like, there was nothing that you could do to that man to harm him.
No, I just like, all right.
I own you. No, you can say that to the Cardinals. Go do it. Go do it on the Southwest. We ain't doing that here.
He won't say it outside Soldier Field, though. Go out in the streets of Chicago and say it. Come on.
You know, he would not take one step out there.
I thought we was cool because he gone. Now they got this little. I don't even know what Jordan Love is. Is he black? Is he mixed? What?
Yeah, he's mixed and he's an imitation of Aaron Rodgers, man.
I was trying to think of something funny, but I don't want to make it sound weird, so I'm going to keep it in my mouth for a moment. The Saints. What the hell happened with the Saints? I thought they were good.
Bad day at the office,
right? Or am I the only person who saw that's coming?
I mean, I knew it was gonna come.
Yeah, I'm not a Derek Carr ain't that. Like he's like Derek Carr's a solid quarterback, man. Derek Carr ain't what he was week 1 and 2.
All the Eagles did was stack the box and told Derek Carr, "We need you to beat us," and he couldn't do it.
It's just wild because like we've seen this a couple times beforehand through his career where he's gotten off to like really crazy hot starts and then just fizzled out. Like he's just a dude. It's not even like he's young enough where you can try to build him up and say, yeah, he'll get around. No, this is who he is.
Yep.
Like there's nothing else to really discuss at that point in time. But I will say this. So going on to the next conversation piece. Justin Fields being 3-0, the Bills being 3-0. This is kind of unprecedented territory for both franchises. I feel like both you guys would agree that you would believe more in the Bills being 3-0 because you guys trust their quarterback, and I do too. Nobody thinks that I say that. Nobody thinks that I mean that, but I do. But the Steelers being 3-0 is it falsehood, or do you think that that's a squad to really be reckoned with?
The Bills, yeah. Steelers defensively, yeah. Not offensively.
Yeah, reckon with is strong. Like I'm not going that far. The thing about the Bills that scares me is like Josh Allen is basically Superman out there right now. Like James Cook balling, don't get me wrong, but
that's the dude.
Is it sustainable? Like, Josh
that's always
Allen,
been my problem is the Bills never stick to the run game when I tell them to stick to the run game. If they keep James Cook upright and keep it up going, I think this team is real legit. If they don't, they bail and want to make Josh Allen to try to be the next second coming of Jesus, like they have been, that team will fall flat again.
I got to ask, how did you feel watching the first half last night?
I was at work. I got to watch most of it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I know you don't. Every time I say anything beneficial about the Bills, I always get that same look like, oh,
man, it's shocking.
I got it. Look, I have a reputation to uphold as the self-deprecating bad Bills fan. Is if I say anything good and shout to my boy Matt Sierra, he was like, hey, you're getting too positive. You better knock that off. So I did. I just want to make sure, So I understand Josh Allen's flaws. I understand his greatness and how good he is, but I'm just tired of people not recognizing his flaws is all that it is. So I will say this. The one place I was wrong is their secondary. I thought that secondary was going to be absolute trash and it was going to take a long time for them to get gelled up. And I don't want to overcommit because it is Jacksonville, who hasn't been good, and they played Arizona, who's besides Marvin Harrison Jr., who they clamped up, isn't great. And Tua wasn't playing week 2. I don't want to gas their secondary too much.
They were like a boa constrictor to Tua. They got 3.
No, exactly. No, they did it. They got to him early. So I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but it's still very early. But the secondary to me is still a concern. The next 3 weeks, they've got the Ravens on the road. They've got the Texans on the road, and they've got the Jets on the road. This is where we really start to. This is why we gotta pump the brakes sometimes, man. They 3-0 and they look really good right now. And I'm not trying to say that the Bills don't look like they are a contender, but I'm not trying to be the homer dude either. This stretch, Baltimore coming off that win against Dallas, the Texans the week afterwards. That's a revenge game for Stephon Diggs, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the Jets, who we all think is supposed to be a good defense. I don't know, man. I don't see a 3-game slid coming, but don't be surprised if it does.
Okay, so all right, I got you. But man, that's that part of the schedule right there for you. That's a make or break right there. That's it. And when I say make or break, I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm talking about If they can go 2-1, 3-0, that's legitimate number 1 seed. Make or break.
If they go 3-0, that to me. If they go 3-0, that's the 1 seed because them and Kansas City are the only 2 teams at this point in time that can really vie for the number 1 seed.
And the NFL will get that matchup like Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but who's the second most famous female artist that Josh Allen could dump his girlfriend for to make because that seems to be that seems to be what we're doing, right?
Man, that's all you need right there.
Right there. Well, let's get the biggest pop artist in the world besides Taylor Swift, and then we good. But for Pittsburgh or Justin Fields, like I guess most specifically, do you think that he's actually taken over the starting job for the Steelers going forward?
Oh yeah, Russ about if I'm the Steelers, I'm trading Russ. Get rid of him, man. There's no reason for Justin to be looking over his shoulder because he's gradually getting better. I'll give him credit for that. But at the same time, it's just like what can Russ do better than Justin?
I mean, really nothing. CR, what's your? Oh, he's muted at the moment. I don't really think that there's anything that he can do better than Justin either. You know, it's he can't throw the deep ball as well. Can't read a defense. Really, that's going back the last 2 or 3 years. You know, it was We have these kind of odd talking points. Did Russ talk himself out of the Hall of Fame because he was on the trajectory? His first 6 or 7 years, we thought that he was a Hall of Fame type of quarterback, and then we realized, well, how much were you carried by the defense, the run game? Like, did you just ride the coattails of everything? And you were just, we don't like to do the whole game manager type of narrative. And I didn't believe in it initially, but also he's older now. These older quarterbacks, the Russell Wilsons, the Kirk Cousins, like, dude, they're 35, 6, 7 years old. They're not the same dude. Stop acting like athletes don't get old like the rest of us. We gotta stop that, man.
They seen Tom Brady play until he's 45,
and he ruined it.
Now everybody think every athlete can do that.
Yeah, it's the Tom Brady's, the LeBron James who can play until they're 40, and well, everybody can. No, they can't, and especially not that level. And that's
you got to take care of your body relentlessly.
But people make fun of that though. Oh, you're spending money on your body? No, you know who I mean. You know who I mean. Like they, not all the collective they. They making fun of things. See, are you still muted though, bro?
No.
Who you want to yell at? CR? Yell at somebody.
I was dealing with a little work issue. Somebody not scheduled to work, but they trying to get on the clock. So I had to deal with that real quick.
Uh-oh.
So whose key card doesn't work tomorrow?
No, I told him just let her work. I'll figure it all out tomorrow. But I'm happy to see Justin Fields. Like, I just want to see him get 50% of the snaps so the Bears can get a 4th round pick instead of a 6th round pick.
I love you always find a way to look at it from the individual fan perspective, which I appreciate about you.
Oh yeah.
No, what do I get of it?
You can't go away from Justin. Not at 3-0. Like, as long as you're winning, you can't pull the plug.
And he's not costing them any games.
Right. I feel like if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm going out there every snap, 12 personnel with Freiermuth and can't think of the other tight end's name from Georgia.
Washington.
Yeah. And I'm just
you guys could get Chase Claypool back and put him at tight end.
Man, I almost said something about their mama, man. We don't even bring Buddy up, like light-skinned bandit. Like, man, ain't no.
I was trying to be nice.
I really what he did. He stole. He stole. Like, first of all, how many brothers you know named Chase? So let's start there. Like,
That is a Caucasian persuasion name for
Chase.
sure.
Like, man, I ain't never been in the hood. Like, hey, who is that? Oh, that's Chase. No, that don't happen. But
I was over at Tanner's house, and then Bryce came over.
Right.
Hey, get the hell out of here.
Right. Ryan Poles need his ass whooped for that one.
So I want to ask you guys one more question. If you guys have more things you want to pop up, please do. But as far as what I had on the docket, this is what I got left over. What do you think is more overreactionary at this point in time? We overhyped the Texans before the season started, or overhyping the Vikings too much now?
I'll say overhyping the Vikings now.
And what is your? I have a reason for both sides, but I want to see why. Why do you think we're overhyping the Vikings now?
I mean, just because they beat the 49ers and the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, like because we did it beforehand with the Niners. We saw this last year when they didn't have all of the sports Avengers and they lost 3 games in a row. We thought they weren't any good anymore. I have said on previous occasions where if the Niners don't win a Super Bowl this year,
it's over.
Their run's done.
Yep.
Like they cooked because they've just been prolonging contracts, and this is the year because next year or the next year you have to pay Purdy, and then all the money that you just been kind of pushing down the line, you're going to start owing to these dudes. So if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, like they're cooked. But I'm with you. I think the Niners they're flawed, but they're also top heavy. And that's kind of thing that we feel like with Dallas. Dallas is the exact same way. They're flawed and top heavy, which kind of made me raise my eyebrows from you when you said that they were weak up the middle because Dexter Lawrence is really good. But if your defensive line play and overall scheme isn't good, that's going to be problematic. But so what about for you, CR? Which one do you think is more accurate? Are we gassing up the Vikings too much now, or are we gassing up the Texans too much before the season started?
It's the Vikings. It's easily the Vikings. Like, it's week 3. Y'all are 3-0. Good job. You beat who's in front of you. I'm not a believer. Like,
now with that quarterback.
No, absolutely not. You're only gonna go so far. Even if you're the Lions from last year, you're still only going to go so far because of the quarterback.
Yep.
Like, he's what's going to hold you back. Like,
we'll see.
At some point, Sam Darnold is going to be Sam Darnold. Like, I got too much film to tell me otherwise.
And this is why I try to be a little more open-minded about those types of things, because we have seen Sam Darnold be in bad situations. And we've seen these resurgence from quarterbacks who are drafted in the top 5, top 10, or whatever, and be able to resurrect their career going forward with different teams. And Geno Smith, to me, is another one of those. And honestly, Geno Smith might be the most outlier of all of them, because the dude was a backup for like 8 years and then replaced Eli Manning, got 1 start, then was done and benched again. And now has been now in Seattle has kind of gotten his momentum back going again, but he's in his mid-30s. Like, it's that story is going to end sooner as well. But man, I'm with you as far as Sam Darnold. I've seen this movie too many times beforehand. Maybe it's better in Minnesota. Maybe it's going to be longevity wise because he's still relatively young. He's still like what, 28, 29,
27, 28.
Yeah, he's not 30s. So he has the thing with him is timing wise, he has the ability to get another contract. But if he explodes, and this is the whole thing, is when he played with the Jets and Panthers, everywhere else, and we mentioned this earlier on this episode, was the last 4 or 5 games of the season, he always seems to play well when there's nothing on the line, and he keeps getting his job back. And when you're a top 5 quarterback, you get that longevity, and he's probably going to string around and probably be a backup quarterback. That's what I say. To me, Sam Darnold's a backup quarterback till he's not a backup quarterback anymore because he couldn't even beat up J.J. McCarthy.
And to your point, though, like right now he's playing with house money. There's no pressure on Sam Darnold to do anything. Nope. So he can go out there, play free. Now you keep winning, the expectations start to mount. Okay, let's see how you handle the pressure now. Now it's like, all right, we're 5-0, 6-2. we're fighting for the playoffs, are you going to be this new guy, or are you going to go back to being who we believe that you are?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so funny because we have two Marios in the group chat right now. We got Mario Escalaro says the Vikings easily, who you don't believe in, and Mario De La Rosa, who says easily the Texans. They had a weak schedule last year. It's to me, it's just we don't have enough tape. The thing is, like, we always do this, and I don't understand how we as we talk about ourselves as intellectual sports fans, but it's the same thing every damn year where a rookie might have a really trash year and then bounce back, or have a great rookie year and then regress because now there's tape on you, and then Sam Darnold or everything else. The Vikings are the reason why you can't trust them. Why? Because Sam Darnold is being great right now, but then he'll regress. You don't trust the Texans because of
Jay.
Yeah, because Stroud was good initially and now he's regressing. There's tape. There's all these things are circumstantial. To me, it's like it doesn't. All of this doesn't matter until it's like a 3 to 4 year sample size. And Jordan Love is a prime example of that exactly. And I don't want to give the Packers too much credit because I feel like we can do that because it's simplistic. It's simplistic to me, but it is hard to argue. But they've gotten 3 really good quarterbacks. They've only got 2 Super Bowls in like 40 years based of all 3 of those dudes so far. So, what are we going to do here?
Man, I don't know how they've done it. I've never seen a quarterback. Like, the best quarterback I've seen in my lifetime is Jay Cutler. So the fact
I was going to as a Bears fan.
Yeah.
You got to choose your words better, dude. You said the best quarterback you ever saw in your lifetime was Jay Cutler. Those words cannot come out your mouth and not have context, bro.
Man, Jay Cutler can do no wrong in my eyes. Like I love Cuddy. I love Cuddy.
Oh, Kid Cuddy.
The quarterback, and I love it. But how the Packers continue to find quarterbacks and how they stole Xavier McKinney in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I can't do nothing but tip my hat. They're a phenomenal organization.
I was gonna say that it's just like with the Steelers, man.
Like I'm envious. I was born into this Bears thing.
See, I
wouldn't choose it. I wouldn't choose it for anybody. No, God, no. I pointed my sons towards soccer. Like, they argue about Ronaldo and Mbappe.
You can make millions overseas, dog.
Like,
hundreds of millions, man.
It's like, Daddy, can I watch the Bears with you? No, I don't want this for you. Okay, don't come watch.
You don't want this, man. This is too much pain for you,
man.
So I want to leave you guys. I want to leave you guys with one more question before I leave because I know Trevor Lawrence. All right, LaShawn, no. I put this on my page. I got to put it on the universe. Who ruined who? I need the people who didn't see it. Who ruined who? Did Trevor Lawrence ruin Urban Meyer, or did Urban Meyer ruin Trevor Lawrence? And then I got a question about my Bills because I need an unbiased opinion because I'm very biased, obviously.
Urban Meyer's wee ruined Urban Meyer. Like, it didn't have nothing to do with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
but he was the number one pick. Like, he was a golden child. He was the savior. He was the answer, though, man.
He has a receiver now. Doug with his system is failing Trevor. I'm not blaming either one on Urban or Trevor.
I know you're the person who picks the if there's 2 evils, I'll pick neither.
Yeah,
that's you, man. I'm
No, but it's just like I've seen that a stat, man, that he's 2-8 in his last 10 starts, and I'm like, they paid you a lot of money, man. You got to do
they've lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, you got to do more carrying.
And see that I guess that's my whole thing is like I know that I give Josh Allen a lot of, but I know that if they need to put a game on his back, like he might lose you a game. Single-handedly, he will lose you games because he's in it beforehand, but he will also single-handedly win you games.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence is just I pushed the wrong button. I was like, I put the wrong button when I was trying to. But the thing for me is like Trevor Lawrence does not deserve the hair that he has. He needs to get. They should swap that. Ooh, let's do that. Do hair swap Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and let's see what happens. We can do like a
look-alike switcheroo.
All I know is that Trevor Lawrence does not deserve those majestic locks. Not at all.
That's what he's known for.
he tried me the Fabio the gridiron. He just keep coming up short every which way.
Yeah.
But I will say this. So I want to get your opinion on one thing real quick. Bills, frauds or not?
No, they're not frauds. Not with Josh Allen up there at quarterback. I know it hurts to hear that.
It hurts to hear because I don't believe it. I believe what you're saying. I believe that they're not frauds.
They're not frauds.
I can't say it out loud though because the internet will know and they're gonna come roast me because
they're gonna be like, we got you on video.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be that guy, man. I'm really trying not to be, but I gave them a lot of, and here's the deal. I know that it's what I said about the whole them losing Stephon Diggs thing. I still believe so far. There's gonna be a day where they need a true number one to get them 9 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and they don't have a dude who can do that. There will be a day where they need that. And I don't want to be so hyperbolic where I say the Bills offense is basically Sam Darnold because he's a backup quarterback in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know what to do with this Bills offense yet because they haven't had Stephon Diggs. So there's still some confusion. They have no idea like where to put linebackers and corners and what are you going to do as far as seeing what their tells are.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to jump the gun too much. But the secondary is what I was really worried about. And man, everything seems good, but they haven't played great offenses yet. So I just don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, they got a great offense. They're going against Sunday.
Oh, that's right. They played Baltimore.
They played Baltimore, and that defensive line is what I'll be watching. Von Miller got a sack last night. AJ, he's causing havoc up there on the edge.
I'm so glad Epidus is getting some run, dude.
Yeah. They're deep on the D-line, and that's what you need, especially for that defense. Like, you don't have no linebackers, in my opinion, right now. They're both injured. But that secondary, I was happy for Hamlin last night to get an interception.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah. First career interception on Monday Night Football, and dealing with his pass, it was great to see.
Yeah. That was really cool because I was actually still at work when I saw that. And not to overdo it, but like I was like, that's a really cool moment, man. Like,
it is.
I wasn't emotional, I wasn't that guy, but it was cool to see though.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes to Buffalo, I'm still worried about the old line. They keep giving them more juice, and I feel like they deserve. But James Cook, man, if he can, nobody wants to hear Buffalo Bills talk, but I feel like if I didn't at least address it, people would think that I'd be ducking the subject. I know that Josh Allen's great. He's also like the bane of my existence. He's great and he's trash and he's everything else in between.
Yep.
See, I'll go ahead and make fun of me one more time.
Man, the first step is admitting.
Yo, if there's one thing about me that I know, I am very self-aware.
That's good.
I give you credit for that.
You have a Hall of Fame quarterback playing for you right now.
You shut your mouth, good sir. He's trash, and I have to keep saying that he's trash for them to continue to be doing well. Because if I don't, come on, man. This is part of my gig. Y'all know this by now. I have to stay in character.
Well, your character might be dead because this dude, the way he playing
right now,
MVP level.
I'll say he's leading the MVP right now.
Easily.
Well, if I want to continue to be playing devil's advocate, he doesn't have any Super Bowl appearances or MVPs.
LaShawn,
how I do things.
Yeah.
You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So no, you can't hurt me. I'm a machine, jerk. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we go ahead and up for the night, though?
No, we hit everything up there that's going on around the league, man. Let's just get ready for week 4.
Week 4 is gonna be a fun one.
I got one thing, and I don't know if y'all discussed it on another. Mel Kiper's an idiot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Idiot.
Oh, well, Sean and I touched on that Sunday. Are you talking about the cover 2 thing?
Yes, that's the dumbest. I mean, you can be cover 2.
And I said the same thing. Right. All you need is the right route combinations, man.
And I'm talking about beat it bad.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson bad.
Man, like give me 2 corners and give me something going up the seat. Something's gonna be open.
Something's gonna be open, man.
Right.
Sean grilled him Sunday morning.
Yeah, because I'm like,
there's no reason to take
anything that he said seriously, man. To get rid of a defensive scheme.
The safeties are playing too deep. Okay, so attack them over the middle. Like,
yep, that's
all. Drag routes. Make sure the linebackers stay up. It's a big ass gap right there behind the linebackers. What are we talking about, Mel Kiper?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like the Tampa 2 is like the only it's that's the variation. You had the middle linebacker drop back, but the cover 2 is still the same. Like it's the same concept.
It's still the same concept.
It's the same concept though, and that's like there's only like 5 or 6 like real defensive concepts, but there's also like intricacies in between it. But when Mel Kiper said when I was on the podcast with you on Sunday, LaShawn, I hadn't watched it, but I heard that I was like, that's why would you want to disband an entire? It's just a concept. So next time we're gonna get rid of blitzing.
Yeah,
we're not blitzing anymore. Got it.
You can't blitz no more than 5 guys.
As a Bears fan, I would love that because we can't block. So please, please, let's do that.
So if the Bears play, there's no blitzing.
Man, God, please, you know, it's like
if they do, it's full house.
You know,
it's 0
seconds. 1, 2. Like once you get to 7, then you can rush. Like, but that was all I had. Mel Kiper's an idiot with bad hair and.
He shouldn't be on ESPN.
Bad hair.
Like, bro, what you doing, man? You look like you belong in the movie Wall Street. Like, come on, man.
Oh, the Wolf of Wall Street?
Not even. Just regular Wall Street with Michael
Regular
Douglas.
Wall Street. All right, man. I'll let you guys get back to it. That was C.R. McGee, LaShawn Brown chopping it up with P. Scott. You guys know the drill. Stay up, stay blessed. We'll catch you guys on probably Friday evening, Saturday night before the Sunday game start for P. Scott's picks. Right now, we are 9-5-1. But I want to go ahead and give my shout out again to CR and LaShawn. I appreciate you guys' help. You know, it's kind of doing the heavy lifting today.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
As always. And you guys are the best, man.